And we're back.
And we're back. What's up, y'all? New gloves. For those of you just joining us, I am Doug. We are here at Haven for Heroes, 3436 Front Street, Port Jervis, New York, 12771. You know the vibes. We're here doing an auction. We've sold a lot of really cool stuff, including Daredevil #1. So if you are here for that, I'm sorry, you're very late. We are going to start off. I'll give it a couple minutes for people to get back. Check the rules out right here. There are 7 of them. I was going to make an 8th and final rule of if it's your first night at Haven for Heroes auction, you have to bid, but it was a little too Fight Clubby for even me. So, how many people we got right now?
33.
33. Hello, all of you out in cyberspace. I hope you're staying safe and healthy. I wish nothing but the best for you and yours. We've been doing all right, staying safe and trying to stay sane throughout the quarantine. If you'll notice, add a little bit of music to help with the dead air because it makes me anxious and I'm on camera. So, we're going to start things off with some more comics. We will be doing the Amazing Spider-Man annual. We'll just do it right now. So, Amazing Spider-Man annual #1. It is the first appearance of the Sinister Six. And opening bid is going to be $150. And we actually have a preemptive bid for $150. So, starting bid is $150. We have $150. I'm going to bring this a little closer so that way.
So I'm going to put $151 for opening bid.
Yeah, $151 would be opening bid. Otherwise, somebody else is going to take it home. But I'm going to bring this over to the camera. Jim signed this one too, a couple times. So there we go. Wait for that to focus a little bit. There we go. Look at that. That's a classic cover right there.
It's annual #1, right?
Yes, Amazing Spider-Man annual #1 from 1964. This is the first appearance of the Sinister Six as a team.
We got 155.
155 for the Amazing Spider-Man annual #1, first appearance of the Sinister Six. 155 is the bid. I'm going to return to my seat because it's comfortable. 155 for the Amazing Spider-Man #1, annual #1. Sorry, #1 would be worth way more, no matter the condition. So, the Sinister Six is Electro, Kraven, Doc Ock, Mysterio. Hold on, I can do this. Rhino and Green Goblin, I believe, because it's supposed to be me and no, Sandman.
Yeah.
Right, it's Sandman and Rhino's not in it.
160.
There we go, 160 for the ASM annual #1. It's in pretty good condition, for being a book from 1964. It's still intact. The spine is still in one piece.
165.
165 for the Amazing Spider-Man annual #1, first appearance of the Sinister Six. This is something a lot of people were really excited about. Initially, we thought the opening bid was going to be $250, but after further inspection, we decided to, make it a little bit more enticing for people, less of a kind of a sticker shock.
165?
165 is what we have.
Yeah, that's what we have. I don't know if it's on that one.
Yeah, 165 is the current bid. If you want to take this home, you're going to need to come a little hotter than that. What we got? 165 on a delay of 30 seconds. That's the current high bid. It's a great book, great condition. If it turns out that this Jim person became famous, you win. So
This one's super gymmed out.
no, this one only has, I think, 2
3.
instead of 3. Oh, it does have 3.
Right?
Oh yeah, it is 3. So yeah, Jim. I guess Jim would lend people comics and write his name on the cover so they wouldn't forget. Reminds me of a funny story with my friend Phil and a copy of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
Did you ever get it back?
It was his game. I gave it to him after 15 years. Every time I would move.
You got 170.
170 for the ASM annual #1. Great book. Let me move this a little bit. I can't move this any further to the left.
175.
175 ASM annual #1. Great book, hot book. Take it home today. 175 is the current high bid. Do we have 180? Or perhaps 200? Put your opponents on their heels. 175 is the current bid. Do we have 180. This one I'm gonna take a little bit longer on because it's again it's a hot book. We had a lot of people interested on.
Bid the year.
And I want to make sure. Yeah, bid the year. Bid the year. 2020. Let's make it happen.
1964.
Oh yeah. Or bid the year it came out. 1964. I thought you meant like the year we're in. We're technically all still in 2012. What happened was there was a vibration that split the dimensions, and we are currently in the worst timeline. Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. 180? We are at 180 for the ASM Annual number 1. Beautiful colors. Oh, God. 60s comics were really... I love comics.
200.
200 on the nose for the Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. I really love comics from the 60s, and like the 60s and 70s, especially any of Jack Kirby's work. I know Jack Kirby didn't particularly. But anyway, because whenever you see comic books in any sort of media, like movies or music videos or anything like that, whenever they like open up a box and find comics, they always have this poppy cover. And so like it's the quintessential stylization that has become like undeniable. Like this is the way comics are supposed to feel. I mean, a lot of comics obviously take things in different directions, and I respect that. But like this is true to form. So $200 for the Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. Do we have 201?
There's somebody asking who is Jim.
I have no idea who Jim is. This collection, this came in a collection of
205.
books. We have 205 for the Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. Do we have 210? We have 210.
What? We have 210 where? Oh, now we do. Yep.
We have
Yeah,
210.
where I am.
Everything's delayed.
We have 210 for the Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. It's a hot book. It started a war. I shouldn't.
Look, there's 72 big pages.
Yeah, and I should have known. Everybody loves Spidey more than they love Daredevil. Daredevil's just like, I'm gonna fight you in a hallway. that's a
My
joke.
thing is, like, why did they color in the letters the way they did?
Catches the eye. It's a rainbow.
But it's like the PDM sticks out so much.
Spider-Man.
Like,
It's Spider-Man.
it's just PD. Why the PDM?
I'm
It's
Batman.
weird.
I'm Spider-Man.
The Amazing Sire
It's like Speeve.
Or it's just-
He lied.
Or
She
if you just
believed.
get the blue and green out, it's just PDM.
PDM. All right. 210 for the Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. Do we have 215 or perhaps 250? 215 or 250? And this is in the hundreds. We're making sure the decimal is all the way on the right there. So Amazing Spider-Man Annual, great book. First appearance of the Sinister Six. We are at 210 right now. Do we have a 215? Otherwise, I think we're going to end up closing this bid. 210 going once. 210 for the Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. First appearance of the Sinister Six going twice. Incredible. Sold for $210.
I think you mean amazing?
Amazing. Spectacular.
Okay.
Yeah,
Friendly
Spectacular's the one
neighborhood.
that people don't care about.
Fantastic. What?
Isn't Spectacular one that people don't care about?
Spectacular's alright. Spectacular had Maximum Carnage. So did Web of Spider-Man, and literally nothing happened there. Spectacular's good. Next we have Star Wars number 1. This is the 35-cent reprint. This is not the 30-cent original. But this is the first comic appearance of Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I believe Darth Vader as well. See, like the usual gang. Really cool book. We're gonna open the bid at $25. Normally retails for $50 in the condition that it's in. It's not in perfect condition. It has a little bit of creasing along the spine here, and a little bit of color break along the edge with the pages here. The corner is a little nicked as well, but overall intact and in pretty good condition. I'd probably say it's about a 5 conservatively. That's the back. Back's in good condition. I'll show you some of the pages. Pages are not quite completely yellowed. Still got some white to them. You know, with books of this age, that does kind of happen, especially if, you know, it ended up in a house where there was smoke of any kind. So, do we have $25 on Star Wars #1? First appearance of Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia. This came out technically before the movie did. I don't actually know if the 35-cent reprint did, but the comic book originally did come out before the movie did. And so it is technically the first appearance of these characters. So do we have $25 for any of the Star Wars fans out in cyberspace in a galaxy far, far away? Otherwise, this will have gone a long, long time ago. 25.
We got 25.
We have 25 for the Star Wars #1. Excellent. So do we have a 26 or a 30 for the Star Wars #1? First appearance of the good old Star Wars gang. All the people Weird Al sang about.
Out of curiosity, the bidder that won the ASM annual wants to know what we had it tagged at.
We had it tagged at $5.50.
Okay.
The ASM annual #1 was originally retailed at $5.50.
Yeah, so who ended up winning that?
Jesse and them.
Somebody just sent me a shot of the chat with 215 bid in it. I don't see it on.
Yeah,
our
we
site.
did not see that.
Nope.
We'll come.
215. It's not there.
We can't go back to it, but
Yeah, if that was a
Let's see,
connectivity
you did.
issue.
We got $30 on the Star Wars.
$30 on Star Wars #1. We'll handle that. Yeah, we'll handle that afterwards.
It's not in the chat.
Yeah. $30 on Star Wars #1. First appearance of all of the fan favorites from Star Wars. Can we double check to see if the 35-cent reprint came out before the movie as well? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I will.
Because I know that the 30-cent original copy did, and it's worth tremendously more than the reprint because it was the first printing. You know, as comics price changed. I actually went to go see the $32 on the Star Wars #1. I actually went to go see Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope during the 25th anniversary event when they re-released it in theaters. I believe that was actually the first movie I saw in theaters. It's one of my earlier memories from 1996, 25 years after the 1971 original release of A New Hope. Do we know? What year was the 35?
It was 1977, and they released them for the 20th anniversary.
It was the 20th anniversary, not the 25th, right? So, so then this came out in 77 too?
Yeah.
So then this probably was released before the movie as well. So, first appearance of these characters, $32. Do we have 35?
Yeah.
We have 35?
Yep.
All right, 35 for the Star Wars #1. Originally stickered at $50. So
Came out 2 months after the movie.
came out 2 months after the movie.
It was
Sorry,
June.
it was June. Yes. So came out 2 months after the movie. So it is not technically before the movie, but it is right around the time.
It's a reprint of the first issue.
Right, it's a reprint of exactly. It's a reprint of the first issue that came out before the movie. But if your timelines would like to be specific, that's when it came out. So we have 35, you said?
Yep.
On the Star Wars #1. Do we have another bid beyond that? If you'll notice, I put the Battle of the Wits music in the background. If this is your first time with us, we do have a YouTube channel. Just search Haven for Heroes on YouTube. Rico and Gina from Bearded Rooster Productions are actually helping us with the stream today. Big shout outs to them. Huge thank you to them.
Phenomenal job.
They're doing an incredible job in putting up with my diva ass. So, sorry, but I know I broke the first rule. Whoops.
The stream
So-
rules don't apply to us.
The stream rules don't apply to us, I guess. So, it's really cool, and they've done a great job. And they also do our YouTube channel. They do all of our videos there. So, there's a couple of videos I think that some other people had put together, but 99% of them are Rico and Gina.
Let's move to closing bids.
So we're gonna move to closing bids. 35 going once for the Star Wars #1. First appearances of Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, C-3PO, Han Solo, Chewie, and the gang. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Star Wars #1, 35-cent reprint, sold $35. Congratulations,
35
buyer.
cents to $35. That's inflation.
You could buy a house for that back in the day. All right, show of hands. How many of you have seen Birds of Prey? I saw it. Great movie. If you haven't seen the Birds of Prey movie, really incredible movie. DC finally did a comic book movie in a way that was fun, light, and enjoyable. They didn't have to focus too much on gritty storylines or bad acting and worse scripts. So, Birds of Prey, really great movie. Also had Huntress in the movie. So we have here Secret Origins of Superheroes #17. The first appearance of Huntress, who just came out in the recent Birds of Prey movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. A lot of fun. Don't bring your kids.
Secret Origins.
Yes, this is Secret Origins. The opening bid will be $80 on the first appearance of Huntress. It's a great book. I'll point out some of the... So, this is in pretty good condition. Got a couple of, the spine's rolled a little bit. Got some creases. A couple of color breaks here, and a little bit of a crease on the corner. On the back...
Steve said they already had a fun one, though. It was Shazam.
Shazam was good, too. Alright, that's fair. But, like... Shazam was a little too involved. This was very much just like we don't need to give you too much, It was good for the casuals. Little bit of a crease on the back. And again, a couple of creasings on the spine. It's usually typical. If you see it on the front, you'll see it on the back. But, great book. I'll open the pages so that way you can get a look at it real quick. Again, this is a book from, I believe, the early 80s? Late 70s? My years always get mixed up. It actually tells me somewhere on here. Alright, forget about it. First appearance of Huntress. Opening bid of $80. Do we have $80 on Huntress? She's the crossbow killer, for those of you who have seen Birds of Prey. I know they mention her name like
1977.
twice. 1977, that's when this came out. Great book. Great character. It was really cool to see her done well in Birds of Prey. They kind of poked fun at the fact that she's an edgelord, rides around on a bike and frowns all the time, and is on a quest for vengeance. I'm not spoiling anything; it's all in the trailer. Great book, great character, great movie. $80 on the first appearance. Normally stickered at $130, so nearly a 50% reduction. I'm not cutting it in half. Cut it in half?
Cut it in half.
Cut it in half. Give me some scissors. I'll cut it in half. Alright. Opening bid is now $40 at the request of the senile old man. He's off his rocker. $40 opening bid, first appearance of Huntress. He didn't like the movie that much, I guess. Do we have $40 on the first appearance of Huntress? Secret Origin of Superheroes, number 17. I knew it had a 1 and a 7. I wasn't sure if there was a 0 between or after. $40 on the first appearance of Huntress. Going once. Going twice. Going back on the shelf. Sweet, I'll get to keep it another day. It's a great book. Alright. We have here, for a bit more of the comic veterans, a series that you will probably know. Whether you love it or not is dependent upon your personal taste. But we have here Alpha Flight 1 through 30. Is this the full run? No, it's just 1 through 30 because Alpha Flight went forever. Alpha Flight 1 through 30, 30 comic books. This is 30 comic books. No joke. Normally stickered at $65. We'll start at $30 for all of Alpha Flight 1 through 30. Complete collection of 1 through 30. As complete as the numbers 1 through 30 could be. There's not really a whole lot. They're a Canadian team. We have $30 for the Alpha Flight. They're a Canadian team. So, like, if you like Canadians, or Canada, or Ryan Reynolds, it's it's interesting because they met up a lot with American superheroes, and like Spider-Man got involved with them and stuff like that, and a couple of cool characters came out of them. But like, you know, they started with the X-Men. Like their first appearance was, I believe, in the X-Men. But 1 through 30 for $30. We have the bid right now. Do we have 35? It's like $1 a comic there. And normally it's 65. Do we have 31 or 32? Or perhaps 100? Really wow your friends and tell them, oh yeah, what'd you do today? I bought Alpha Flight 1 through 30. Rub that achievement in your friend's face. They'll be like, who? And you can tell them all about the Canadian super team.
Hey, Samson's really important in Immortal Hulk right now.
Samson's really important, and so is Sasquatch. But like,
yeah.
you know,
Sasquatch not so much right now. He was dealt with.
yeah, he got dealt with. He got handled. So 1 through 30, $30. Going once. Going twice. Sold to the person who bid $30. Thank you very much. Contact us for payment and shipping.
When are we getting Alpha Flight Endgame? What does that mean?
I think that's a series that was supposed to be coming out.
I have no idea.
Yeah, all the comics have stopped right now, like new comics. Like DC's like, oh, we're gonna do it again, and you can do it straight through us. I'm like, kinda, kinda. We have a Golden Age book next. So, wait, no, it's not. Wait, how is this Golden Age and has the comic code? You wrote Golden Age down,
It was a 10-cent Golden Age book.
but it has the comics code. Isn't the Golden Age non-comics code?
So it came out, but it's the end of the Golden Age.
Oh, okay. So it's one of the last Golden Age books. The Flash, number 113, first appearance of the Trickster, who is a very famous member of Flash's Rogues Gallery. Came out. What year was this? I will show you the cover. Yes, played by Mark Hamill on television. There was a really interesting episode of Batman Brave and the Bold where they had the Joker, the Trickster, and Swamp Thing all in the same scene, and Mark Hamill was playing all of them, I believe. I think he played Swamp Thing too. But I know he plays Trickster and Joker. So he was voicing them both, and they were arguing, and they were like, we sound alike. This is ridiculous. It was a great meta moment in cartoons. So I'll show you the cover here. Let's get that zoomed in, because it is an older book, and it does have some conditional issues. There's a couple of creases across the cover here, a couple of small tears in the cover along the edge here, a couple of nicks in the cover. The cover is still attached. The back is rolled as well. There's a couple, obviously some issues along the spine here. We have the $80 bid. So $80, the minimum bid has been met. This is the first appearance of Trickster ever. Flash number 113, one of the last Golden Age comics of the era. Great series. Flash is a great character that they totally underutilized for a very long time. I wouldn't say underutilized. I would say underutilized his abilities. I think as they expanded upon what it means to go fast, they realized that if we have a bid for 85, so Flash 113 is now 85. So it's interesting because I guess as they figured out the faster you go, you can just kind of move through things as particles do, and so they gave him that ability. 86 for the Flash first appearance of Trickster. Do we have 87, 90, or perhaps 87? Do we have 88, 90, or perhaps 100? I'm just gonna do that on everything. We have an 88. 88 is picking up some heat. Originally stickered at $130. The Flash 113. $90 for the Flash 113. First appearance of the Trickster. Do you have tricks up your sleeve? I don't, because my sleeves are up.
I like his shoes.
Yeah, his shoes are dope. Let me get some of those. Look at the drip he's got going on. He's got the full outfit going on, and Flash in the back looking like a string bean, sad. Just like, you can't catch me. And he's like, but I'm fast. And he's like, but I'm jumping off a cliff. You can't run on air. So, you know, it obviously there's an impasse here.
Great thunder. He's running on air.
Exactly. We have $90 right now for the Flash 113 first appearance of the Trickster. Do we have a 91, a 95, or 100?
Still 90.
$90. Still a good deal at $90. It'd be a good deal at 95. It'd be a great deal at 100. It's you know, we had it stickered you know, on the lower end. You know, first appearance of a big Rogues Gallery character. Took part in the murder of the Flash later on, along with all the other rogues. Spoiler alert, heroes die often and many times, and they always come back, because that's what heroes do. So, Trickster's first appearance, we have $90 on it. Do we have a 91, a 95, or 500? We have a 90 on the first appearance of Trickster. Closing in on the end of the bidding. Get your bids in now. 90 going once. 30 seconds go by, and then 90 going twice. Sold. $90. Congratulations. Thank you for the buy. Contact us for payment, please. Alrighty. Ooh. Next we have DC Comics from 1996, Nightwing #1. It's the first of his solo run. It's a little beat up. It's got some wrinkles along the face and along the back. You know, perhaps, you know, they're light, but they're definitely there. They're noticeable. It's a little hard to see with the camera here. I'll put this back behind it. It's the first of his solo run. Originally stickered at $20. We will start the bidding at $5. For all you Nightwing fans out there. Dick Grayson. Arguably the best Robin. Well, maybe not, because he stopped being Robin. But great character.
Don't they all,
Great series.
Don't they all, though?
Yeah, one way or another. Whether it's they leave or the crowbar takes them. $5 for Nightwing #1. Recently in Titans, the DC Universe streaming show. Great series if you haven't seen it.
The Nightwing outfit was so good.
It was very, very good.
The
It was
shock batons.
Yep, it was phenomenal.
So excited. Can't wait for next season.
He also has been in Teen Titans Go. He also has been in the original Teen Titans and any of the future scenes that they've ever shown. Dick Grayson has evolved. $8 on the Nightwing #1. $8 on Nightwing #1. Sorry, I was taking a sip from my non-sponsored Arizona RX Energy. Let me get that in there. There it is. That's the real MVP. This is not for sale. Sorry. Nightwing #1. First solo story of Nightwing. Well, not first solo story, but first solo series of Nightwing. $8 is the current bid. We will be moving to closing the bid shortly. As in 30 seconds. Let you hear me say that shortly we're closing it. Nightwing #1 going for $8. $9. Nightwing #1 for $9. Do we have 10? 9 going on 10. Remember my 10th birthday, I got a GameCube, I believe. Or was that my 11th? It was one of the two.
$11.
$11. $11. Do we have 12? Or 15? Or perhaps, I'll let you fill in the blank. $11 for the Nightwing #1. $11 going once. Heard a little ding. Is that somebody bidding? $11 going once. $11 going thrice. Just kidding, twice. Sold. Nightwing #1, $11. Congratulations, buyer. Thank you for the purchase. Let me get this back in its protective cover. Does somebody want to get that?
What?
The back door? Somebody's knocking on the back door? believe it's somebody for a curbside pickup of one of the items that they may have purchased.
Do you want me to take care of it?
I got it.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna move right on along.
People bid after I type close in the chat. Sorry.
People bid after you type closed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. We're doing our best that we can to make sure that everybody has ample time to bid. But if you're gonna bid, you got to get in there and bid. You know, if you're thinking about doing it, just go for it, because unfortunately, with the delay and stuff like that, there's not really a way that we can catch the after close bids, and so they will not be counted. The rules are right here. Next, we have a book that has been heating up, and we have one copy of it in not great condition. And that is Strange Tales 169, the first appearance of Brother Voodoo. I'm actually not going to put this on here without the backing. There is a chunk missing from the front cover with a slight tear in the front. It is waved and bowed. And then on the back, there's a piece missing of the back cover as well. And again, you know, as I said, it's got some waving to it. You know, it can almost tell you hi. But overall, great book, great character. In line to be the Sorcerer Supreme. There is a very good chance. So they've already cast his brother for the movie. This character's brother for the movie. For the new Doctor Strange movie. So, reason states he's going to be in the movie. So, great book. Heating up right now. Great character. Opening the bid. We had it stickered at $25. We are going to start it at $5. $5 for the first appearance of Brother Voodoo. Strange Tales 169. If you're looking to complete a run of Strange Tales, if you're a Doctor Strange fan, then this is definitely a must-have. $5 will take it home. Do we have $5 for the first Brother Voodoo? Great concept. Poor, you know, not the greatest execution. I mean, comics back then were not what they are today. They definitely did not give the greatest of representation, but you know, it was already kind of a hard thing to pass black superheroes through the machine of comics, as it were. So it was cool to see Brother Voodoo come out. So do we have $5 for his first appearance? $5. Y'all are going to be real sorry when they announce Brother Voodoo for the movie, and even this copy is $150. $5. Thank you so much for your purchases. Take care and stay safe. Had somebody doing some pickup of their items. Came in full protective gear. You know, we're keeping it safe over here. So $5 for the first appearance of Brother Voodoo. Do we have a $5? $5 bill to take a chance at a tremendous increase when the movie comes. Also, it's just a really cool character. Definitely don't let your kids read it, because they will tear the cover clean off of it. It is still attached, though it is damaged. So $5 going once, going twice. Give it a second to catch up there, because some people have been missing bids. Going back in the shop. Alrighty.
I need total for children.
We have here, right in front of me actually, besides the RX Imaging. Zoom that out. This is a special edition Harry Potter Wizard's Chess. Move this out of the way too. Chess set. This alone is like 20 pounds, maybe. It's a hefty board. There's crystals here on the edges. There's crystals here on the ends of the board. Very decorative, very beautiful. We do have the box that it comes in. I'm trying to remember the name of the company that makes this. They make a bunch of really excellent replicas. Is it Master Replicas?
I don't see the bottom of the box anywhere.
It's over there. We'll find it in a bit. Should have a maker's mark on it somewhere. But great chess set.
65.
Beautiful condition. All of the pieces are here and together.
Check them.
This is the chess set that was in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, originally known as Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. When Harry, Ron, and Hermione are in the basement trying to fulfill all these trials to get to the Sorcerer's Stone, they have to play a game of Wizard's Chess using massive pieces that move on their own. These pieces do not move on their own, but they are fairly large.
That's the bottom
And
of the box.
oh, this is the bottom of the box. Okay. Well, yeah, duh, obviously all the stuff's. So, all the figures are here. They're in great condition. We are going to start the chess set out. Normally goes, I think, around $200. Let's start the bidding at $100 for the Harry Potter Wizard's Chess set. For all you Harry Potter fans out there, for all of you chess fans out there, just like the size of this rook, it's just... We are not responsible if you decide...
We got a $100 bid on it.
$100 bid on the Wizard's Chess. We are not responsible if you get angry that your opponent hits you with the Russian defense and then you brain them with one of these rooks. They're really big.
Sean is the active $100 bid.
Alrighty.
Because we had other people after him say 100 too. So
Gotcha. So Sean currently is the active bidder with $100. If you are not Sean and did not bid $100, bid more. So $100 on the Wizard's Chess set. It's beautiful. I mean, obviously, like, you know, it feels like I'm supposed to say that, right? But it genuinely is.
Some of the pieces are
Yeah, I'm gonna pull some of these pieces out so you can get a better look at them. It really is a beautiful chess set. If you want to turn the camera onto the actual board itself, I'll put some of these out on here. I'll take a couple of different pieces from.
We got 110.
110 for the Wizard's Chess set from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, the pieces, I don't believe are made out of... Oh, maybe they are. 120 on the Harry Potter Wizard's Chess set.
How is he seeing these before I am?
We will ship this, but just be aware the shipping's probably going to be quite a bit. Again, very heavy box with the pieces and the board itself. The board itself is incredible. It has these pedestal legs. This thing is incredible. This is a conversation piece. Yeah, and the bottom of the box is felt.
Pieces.
Yeah, the
All
pieces come in a felt box.
bottoms.
And the pieces are felt bottoms as well to maintain the structural integrity of the board as you play. It's made to look like marble. It's not marble, but it's still really pretty. Definitely people are going to see that and go, "Whoa, what is that?" If they don't
Not
see the
plastic,
HP crest.
that's for sure.
Yeah. So 120 is the current high bid on the Wizard's Chess set, with all pieces and the board all together and complete. 120 is the current high bid. Do we have 130 or perhaps 200? The Wizard's Chess set is at 120. Do we have a higher bid? Is somebody going to snipe it at the last minute from the clutches of the winners? Which I guess then would not be the winners.
We got 150.
150 for the Wizard's Chess set.
You don't want competition.
Yeah, that's the Wind Waker tactic. Yeah, the heavy. See, watch how quiet the chat gets now. Watch what happens. 150. Who's gonna up you at 150? That's a haymaker. And all of you watching, watch how this person bid, because I'm telling you. Do we have a higher bid than 150? We don't. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. It's only fair. I'll put another piece on the board. Another pawn. No more rooks. Let's put a bishop.
Casimo or pewter? They're probably pewter, I think.
I'm wearing gloves, so it's my sense of touch is a little numbed. It feels. I'm gonna take my glove off and touch it. It's fine. I'll just put a new one on.
72 hours of isolation on the product will be fine.
160. It seems that they are pewter. It's a mix. It seems that like parts of it are pewter and parts of it are plaster. I don't know. You tell me. I could be crazy.
So it's definitely got a weighted base.
Yeah, there's definitely metal in it. It may not be entirely
The
metal.
base is metal, and I think the figure is.
It's all made. It's made of zinc.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the answer.
It's a zinc alloy.
It's a zinc alloy.
Of some sort.
Hold, please.
check the retail online. It says diecast. Okay, so the retail says diecast. Yeah, that's what we'll go with.
Zinc alloy die cast. Bada bing, bada boom. 160.
165.
165. See how long it took them to bid you up, man? That's how long it took you. or woman, I don't mean to assume. I just can't see the computer.
Okay, so Dan just linked this chess set in chat on the Harry Potter shop. It is going for $425.
$425, and the current bid is $165.
And it won't ship until 5/15.
And it won't ship until
We
May
got a
15th.
175 bid.
$175 for the chess set. That is normally $425. Can we get to 200? Get it for half price. Come on. That's crazy. That's beautiful. I'm about to change our name to Crazy Dougs. Crazy Dougs.
I'm quitting.
Like Crazy Eddies. I'm kidding. No, we would not be doing the things that man did. That was awful. Don't ever do business like him. He just moved things around warehouses and never actually sold anything. So it is $175 for the Wizards chess set from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, also known as Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for you well-actually people out there. Great chess set. Really got some heft to it. It's beautiful, available for local pickup, or we will ship it for whatever the shipping will cost us. $175. Do we have $180? Or perhaps $425? That's what it's retailing for. Obviously, it's an auction, so whoever bids the highest gets it. And it looks like 175 is in the lead here. Do we have 180? Closing the bid in 30 seconds. Let's see if they. Let's see if the Potterheads are out in force today. Going once. Going twice.
180.
180. 180 on the chess set. So we are going to open these bids back up. 180 on the chess set. I started to put these things away, and I think that me fumbling with it was just like, yeah, you know what, I'll toss some bucks at it. 180. And you get to figure out how these all go right back into the spots they came out of just fine. And then you can make me look dumb. 180. Do we have 185? 190? Or another higher bid?
Just put them back where they came from. Why is it so hard?
Because the shapes all look the same.
That's fair.
It's a black felt bottom. Look at all these beautiful pieces. This very big, very strong board.
Randy's like, it comes with a bag of jelly beans that make you bark like a seal.
It does not come with a bag of jelly beans.
Well,
It does not
see the birdie bots.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Do they
what
make
fun.
you bark like a seal?
Nah, they make you all sorts of weird things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember when they first came out with those,
Yeah.
I was like 12 years old, and I thought it would be a great idea to eat two of the same color and just like let the chips fall where they may. If
That's
you
how you're supposed to do it.
I got double sardine almost every time. I just wanted toasted marshmallow.
Closing bids.
180 on the chess set. We are going to move to close the bids. 180 going once. 180 going two times.
I got it.
We got multiple people moderating the chat. Yeah. 180 is the final bid. Sold. Sorry, hold on.
Whoa.
Sold for 180. Congratulations, buyer. Thank you for your purchase. All right, let's get this put somewhere that isn't here. Next, we are going to sell another cool historical piece. We have here special edition Lord of the Rings. It's got a certificate of authenticity on the back here. Whoop. So what this is this is 6 cells from the trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. 6 film cells actually captured in there, and there is a certificate of authenticity guaranteeing that these are real film cells. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. Certificate of authenticity sealed in the back. So nobody can ever question you on its authenticity because you have a certificate that says so. I'm trying to get the light to hit this the right way. There we go. You can see those film cells in there, maybe.
What do we want to start at?
The starting bid is going to be $25. It's hard to see through my shirt on the reflection. It's fine. Let me see. Can you turn the camera towards the light, maybe? There we go. How's that? There we go. That's some film cell. There you go. That's some film cell action. Yeah. So there are 6 stills from the actual films. 25 is the opening bid. Where are my Lord of the Rings fans? 25. And you are in the lead. Do we have 25, 30, or perhaps 100? Starting at 25. Do we have 25?
Nope.
Lord of the Rings fans, you have something really special. You can, show all your friends, nah, boo boo, I got it and you don't. $25, or I'm just going to put it back on my shelf and no one gets it. That's what I think. $25 or I get it. I'll take it. And I don't have to bid. That's the easiest bid of my life. I'll win every auction.
Yeah, just deleted it.
You deleted it.
Yeah.
$25 for the Lord of the Rings film cells.
Yeah, I've only had to ban one person so far. This has been great.
25. What did they do?
He constantly bid after I said closing only, and then was cursing, so I just banned him.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye. Sorry. Goodbye.
Literally would only bid after I post closed, and then kept being like, fuck, why did I miss that?
Oh, hey.
Sorry, yeah. I keep forgetting I'm on chat.
$25 for the Lord of the Rings.
Like
going once.
$75 and stuff, I'm just banning them too, because it's obviously not a real bid.
$25 going once.
Are my comments not showing? They must not be, Jessica, because you have not commented since the Harry Potter thing.
If for whatever reason it doesn't seem like we're getting to your bid, give it about 30 seconds or so, and then message us directly. We're trying to do our best to keep up with the comment stream, but it is Facebook, and Zuckerberg is Zuckerberg. So we might do the next one on Twitch. We're not sure. Twitch might actually probably be more stable and let us do some cooler things. But $25 for the Lord of the Rings film cells. Do we have 25? Going once. Going twice. Going back on the shelf. Mine.
I'll come take over.
Josh is going to take over for a minute because I need to use the little boys' room.
Alright, what am I doing here? Tell me one quick.
These 2 are done.
Alright, those are done. Alright, let's go. What am I
All of
doing
those are
next?
done except for the Dungeon of the Mad
Dungeon of
Mage.
the Mad Mage, yeah. Hand me the Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
We're going to be doing
It's right under that. Yeah.
The regular one or
that special edition.
Regular.
That's the regular one?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do the regular one first and then the special edition.
Yeah, we'll do the regular Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So now that I'm on camera here, alright, I think I'm good here. Yeah. So, this is the Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage board game. It is a self-contained Dungeons and Dragons board game versus the role-playing game. So, it's like a preset scenario and such that you'll follow. It comes with 40 illustrated interlocking dungeon tiles, 43 plastic heroes and monsters. So it has a ton of minis in it that you can use for other things. They come unpainted in this version of it. We are asking opening bid on this Dungeon of the Mad Mage at $50. I believe it retails for about $80. Yes. They're very good. I believe this is one of the more recent ones from 2019. Dungeon of the Mad Mage is a great module and stuff. Comes with an adventure book for it. Has your D20 in it. 228 cards and 380 markers and tokens. So yeah, opening bid will be $50 on this. You can combine these 2 together with all the other D&D board games they've released in the past, like, I believe 3 years, which is the Temple of Elemental Evil and the Tomb of Annihilation. This was the one that came just after the Tomb of Annihilation, so I believe it is still the most recent. They haven't put out any new module board games or anything like that. The minis in it are really awesome. I don't know if we're able to get a zoom in on the back here, but there's like a Beholder, there's Scorpions. The Beholder mini is actually insanely good. Doug's back here, so I'm going to let him on now. Bye.
Where'd you leave off?
I don't know, talking about it. I said something about an opening bid being $50, and
Yeah, opening bid for the Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage board game, completely self-contained. You can play it by yourself. You can play with up to 4 other people, so a total of 5 players. Great quarantine game, especially if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan. Dungeon of the Mad Mage was a really cool,
Aaron's saying comments aren't showing up either. What the hell?
really cool module.
That's not good.
Nobody's comments are showing.
If they're talking about comments from Dante, he bid $450 on an item that was starting at $25, so I just banned him. Okay.
I guess Rick is trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they're saying to refresh. Refresh won't help. If Facebook isn't pushing stuff through on our side, that's a Facebook problem, sadly.
Well, we'll give it a shot. You know, we'll take a step back before we start the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. There was one bid for the film reels.
I don't know what's going on in the film news because everyone's saying Dante's bidding $75, but he started off with a $450 bid on an opening $20 item. I just straight up banned him for that. I'm sorry, but you know, if you're gonna start with an outrageous
it's okay.
bid,
It's okay.
No, I'm just explaining to the chat because chat keeps telling me like 4 people said that this guy bid on something, so I'm trying to explain to them.
Yeah.
I'm projecting because I'm all the way back here.
So we did have a bid.
We have a $25 bid on Lord of the Rings from Cass.
All right. Does anybody? I'll bring the film. All right.
I've refreshed.
So real quick, we're just going back real fast. Lord of the Rings film reels. We currently have a bid for $25. If nobody else has any other bids, I will return to closing this bid and allow the person who did bid to win. Does anybody have a higher bid than 25? I don't believe so, since only one person bid. Does anybody have a bid above 25? Nobody? Alright. Going once. Going twice. Congratulations, Cassandra. Thank you so much.
Are they showing up now?
Sold.
Yeah.
Alright.
Try to make sure that it's selected all comments instead of most relevant.
It is all. It's showing it as it comes in. But
Okay.
For some reason, some of them are not pushing live. Like over MS, it wasn't showing it. When we hit refresh on the page, it showed it.
Okay.
So we just gotta constantly refresh our page. It looks like.
Okay.
We're
So
very sorry. It's our first one.
it's our first one. We're working out the kinks. I appreciate everybody being patient.
So I got that one down. Yeah, no, I got that. Yeah.
So Dungeon of the Mad Mage, 1 to 5 player game. This does work with other D&D games such as Tomb of Annihilation, Descent into Avernus. I don't know if they released a board.
That's the newest one.
Yeah, that's the newest one. So the board game hasn't come out for it yet. But like Escape from the Underdark, other Dungeons and Dragons board games such as this that have this format, they all work together. You can play them together. You can mix and match the tiles and stuff. I personally have played the Dungeons and Dragons games before, and I think it's a lot of fun. Especially, you know, it's marked at 14 and up. But honestly, if you know, maybe they're a little advanced in their logic and their reading, then maybe this game, you know, would probably be good for them too. 1 to 5 players, and it takes about an hour to play. Realistically, be prepared for about an hour your first time playing it to like set up and read the rules and kind of get acquainted, and then about an hour of gameplay. So it's a great way to kill time. It's never the same because you're playing as different characters. You get different cards. There's a a random aspect to it. So we're gonna open the bid at $50 for the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and then we have a special edition as well. This was originally stickered at $80. $50 is a killer price for it. We do have the special edition as well with the fully painted figures. These figures are not painted, so if you wish to give them your own tint, you can do so. Check out the back. Those are some of the cards and figures that it comes with. Some of you might be Googling it already in the chat. It comes with 40 illustrated interlocking dungeon tiles, 43 plastic heroes and monsters, including the large Death Tyrant, which is a really crazy beholder. It comes with a rule book, an adventure book, 228 cards, 380 markers and tokens, and a 20-sided die, which is awesome. The D20 is quintessential. Do we have $50 on the Dungeon of the Mad Mage? Hopefully the comments are working now. Can I get a whoop whoop?
We're not juggalos.
It's a whoop whoop.
Oh.
Not whoop whoop. No, woot. Woot woot. Or a yay yay. Or a you know the vibes. Let's get a you know the vibes. Can we get a vibe check? Vibe check 1 2. Vibe check 1 2. Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Waterdeep board game. Killer game, $50 or it's going back on the shelf. Do we have a bid? Maybe if I 50, maybe 51 or 55. Going once, going twice, going back on the shelf. So we'll just quickly do the special edition then, the premium edition. All of these miniatures are pre-painted. I will actually bring this box up there in a moment to show you, because it does show you that the figures are painted on the box here, and they are beautiful. So they come with a bunch of minis already in it, a total of 43 of them. So this is a great way to get your hands on minis. I probably should have mentioned that on the last one, because 43 minis for $50 is insane. So let's see if we can get some focus in here. Yeah, check this out. These are some of the cards. Look at that. That beholder. That thing's special. That thing's crazy. That's a Death Tyrant. Those are only created when a beholder dreams about another beholder. It's really cool. If you were expecting me to not be nerdy during this, I don't know what you're talking about. This is Haven for Heroes. This is what we do here. We're all nerds. If you're in the chat, you're a nerd. Nerd. Alright. We are going to start the bidding, normally stickered at 160. We are going to start the bidding at 65. Do we have 65 for the premium edition of Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage? Killer board game.
You said 65?
65 is the opening bid. 1 to 5 players. Almost all ages. This is something to do during the quarantine. You know, even if you're just bored by yourself, like, it doesn't matter if you're home by yourself or with others, you can still play this game 100 times and it'll never get boring. Unless you're somebody who doesn't like enjoying whatever. Great game, killer game, tons of minis, and they come pre-colored. So they come pre-painted. They say painted, but I don't believe that these figures are metal. I believe they are an epoxy of some sort, or a plastic. So they're, you know, they're dye injected. So they're pre-colored already. And then they have the coat on them afterwards. So 65 is the opening bid. Do we have 65? This is why we stopped carrying board games. 65 going once. $65 for 43 pre-painted minis. You can't get that anywhere.
And one's an awesome beholder.
Yeah, 65 going twice. One's a fairy. There's some scorpions in there. There's a drider, I think. There's a bunch of beholders. There's a couple of beholders. Yeah, it's this is down there. A couple of hags. Is that a Kuo-toa, cute little frog guy? All right, going back on the shelf. What do we have next? Let me see here. The Warhammer. Let's do the Pokemon Pops first. We'll do the So we are gonna do these three as a lot. Squirtle, Eevee, and Pikachu. Those three pops. Opening bid of $15, and the bid has already been met, so the opening bid is $16 for these three pops. Eevee, Pikachu, and Squirtle. What can I say about them that hasn't already been said? One of the best starters in history. One of the most iconic characters in history. And one of the most multiplicitous characters in history. Yeah, that's right. Eevee has many evolutions. None of them are featured here. It's just a pop. 15, so 16 to be the winning bid right now. 16 to be the winning bid. Do we have 16 in the chat? I know somebody was commenting on our earlier feed, saying that they really needed these. I don't see a bid. I don't hear a bid. Put your money where your mouth is. You want another Pokemon?
16.
We have 16 for the Squirtle, the Eevee, and the Pikachu. Do we have 17?
We have 16 from Sean specifically. We got 2 people at 16.
2 people at 16. Sean hit it first, so 16 to Sean. Do we have a 17? Do we have a 17?
20.
We have a 20. $20. Do we have a 25? 21.
We got a 25.
We have a 25. 25. Do we have a 30? Still a deal at 30.
25 is high bid.
25 is current high bid. $30 is still a bargain. And then up next we have the Flocked Pikachu, just so you
We
know.
got 26.
$26 for the trio. Do we have a 27? Squirtle,
We got
Eevee.
27.
We have 27. Squirtle, Eevee, and Pikachu. 27 hot bids. Hot bids. Get them in now. If you think that you're going to go $1 above, go $1 above
30.
that. We're at 30. $30 for the 3 Pokemon. Do we have 31? If you're thinking 31, bid 32 because somebody already bid in 31. $30 is the high bid right now. Do we have a 31, a 32, or 100? Do we have...
One of the bidders said they're out, so let's just wait.
All right, so $30 is high bid. $30 is the top bid right now for these 3 pops before you. The Squirtle, the Pikachu, and the Eevee. Going towards the closing direction, unless somebody wants to sneak in a bid, snipe it out of midair. $30 is the high bid right now. Going once. Going 2 times. Wait for that 30-second marker. And sold. $30. Thank you so much for your purchase. Wait, hold on. Gotta give it the Thor seal of approval. Thank you for your purchase. Congratulations to the buyer. Let's do the Flocked Pikachu next. It's Pikachu, but you can touch it. it's got a felt exterior. It's called Flocked because it's textured. It is a special rare chase. We had it stickered at 26. We will start the opening bid at $10 for the GameStop exclusive rare chase Flocked Pikachu. Sounding like a YouTube clickbait title. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can tell through the box, but there's some depth to this Pikachu because of that felt. That tiny little layer of cloth is really brings out the cheeks. There's an extra little bit on the cheeks. The cheeks are raised a bit. $10 on the Flocked Pikachu. Do we have $10? $10 on the Fluffy Pikachu.
We got 12.
We have $12 on the Flocked Pikachu. Do we have 13? $12 on the Flocked Pikachu. Do we have 13?
15.
15. Do we have 20? 15 on the Pikachu. Do we have 20? It's flocked. You can pet it in times of stress and sorrow, which during this quarantine, there's a little bit of that going around. When you run out of things on Netflix to watch, and your Hulu account is up for renewal, and
$20.
$20 for the Flocked Pikachu. Very cute, very cuddly, very textured. It's amazing. $20 for the Flocked Pikachu. 2-0. Look at that. That's a great profile right there. It's like a mugshot. Pikachu with texture. $20. Do we have 21?
It just,
21.
He just messaged me and he just spammed flocked to me.
Does anybody have another bid? 21. We'll take it home. 20 is the high bid right now. Going once. Give it about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Going twice. Give it another 10 seconds. 10 microwave seconds. Beep. Beep. Sold. $20. Congratulations, buyer. Thank you for your purchase.
Everybody Ryan O'Donnell.
All right, what do we have next? I need those Warhammer books, if somebody can hand those to me. So, for you Warhammer fans out there, thank you, sir. We have here some older Codex books. I'm trying to remember which edition these are, including one for Kill Teams. I think this is 3rd edition, and they're on 5th.
No, I think it's more current than that. those ones, if I remember right.
Give us a moment to double check. It's been a while. Some of this stuff, we've been going through our storage, and we've been finding things that we
Here,
bought.
just hand me one of them. I'll look while you're doing it.
That we bought hours ago. I mean hours. Years ago. Hours ago. We bought simply hours ago. But we have the Codex for Space Marines, for the Tau Empire, for the Orcs, for the Grey Knights, for the Cult Mechanus, for the Scutari, and for the Champions of Fenris. We have codexes for all of them. 2 of them are sealed in plastic still. These seem to be...
Can you find a copyright date?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
Yeah, there's none on this thing. If you want to hand me something else, though.
The copyright date is 2012.
Okay.
So these are as recent as 2012.
What are they opening at?
The Warhammer books are going to open at $15 for these 7 hardcover codexes and these 7 softcover books. $15 brings home 14 Warhammer books.
So that's 6th edition, I believe, was released in 2012? Yeah.
So this is 6th edition.
And we are currently on 8th edition.
We are currently on 8th edition. So this is 2 editions behind, but if you're a Warhammer fan and you need to, complete a collection, or if you just really enjoy the art, or are looking for inspiration if you're an artist, there's really
15 on it.
15 on the Warhammer. There's just really incredible art, and that's just a picture of minis. Just like the framing of that is just really wonderful. They've got all the stats for everything that you need. 6th edition, Warhammer 40k. Seems that all of this is Warhammer 40k. None of this seems to be Age of Sigmar or fantasy. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, so Dark Vengeance was the new thing with 6th edition, so yeah, that's definitely 6th edition.
Yeah, so 6th edition Warhammer 40k books, 14 of them, 7 hardcover, 7 softcover, 2 of them still sealed in the factory plastic. $15 is the high bid. That's a steal. That's highway robbery.
Chat silent besides the 15. Want to move to closing?
Make sure that we are getting all of our...
Yeah, no, I'm going to refresh them.
Alright, $15 for the Warhammer 40k books. Somebody's about to take home a whole lot of money for a whole little bit of money. This is quite the investment. $15. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Congratulations, buyer. Thank you for your purchase. All right, let's
Video game systems.
yeah. Where's the? Let me get the Dreamcast and the Sega Genesis, please. Yeah, just move those over. Yep, and then I need those 2 boxes and the games. The games too. Yeah. So yep, I'll take this first. Yep. So we have in here. Thank you.
The 2 games go with the Genesis.
Yes, we have a Sega Genesis complete in the box. This is the box that it would ship in if you ask us to ship it to you. So shipping would be whatever the cost of a large flat rate box would be. And we'll make sure that's packed nice and tight. Reach in here.
You're doing Genesis first, right?
Yeah, I'm doing the Genesis first. So we have a Sega Genesis original system with Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, and Genesis 6-pack. So any of you Street Fighter fans out there, it's an early copy and gets a whooping on your friends. With controller and wires to plug it into your TV and the power cord. And you know what? Screw it. I'll toss an extra controller in. So that way you can play Street Fighter with your friend. So opening bid for the Sega Genesis and the 2 games and the 2 controllers is going to be $25. We have $25 on Super Street Fighter 2, a Sega Genesis with 2 controllers. Opening bid, $25. Retro gaming excellence. Then the Sega Genesis was phenomenal. We have a ton of games. So if you end up picking this up and you would like some other games, I'd be more than happy to provide you a list and it can ship all together. So $25 takes home a Genesis, 2 controllers, and 2 amazing games for the system. Do we have $25?
We got No. You got 20. Oh, correction. I'm putting at 25.
We have 25.
25.
Okay.
25. Do we have 26? Or 27? Or perhaps 50? We have a Sega Genesis. I love that it said high definition graphics along the top here. And I think that that's just beautiful. 16-bit high
30
definition.
on it.
30 on the Genesis with 2 controllers and 2 games. It's a really great system. It was the first system I personally ever played.
Josh's personal favorite.
I played the Incredible Hulk was the first video game that I ever played for the Sega Genesis. Really great game. Really great. They're out in force, showing everybody how tough they are. I love them.
32.
32 for the Genesis and the Street Fighter and the Genesis 6-pack. The 6-pack contains Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe,
It's got good games.
Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns and Super Hang On.
Got
But like,
four really good
it's got 4 bangers in one cartridge.
Shinobi's great.
Revenge of the Shinobi was amazing. Revenge of Shinobi was incredible. Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one, was amazing.
Streets of Rage is probably
Streets-
like the best beat 'em up game ever.
Exactly. It really revolutionized the you know. Great games, great value. Only here at Haven for Heroes. 32 is the high bid for the Sega Genesis 16-bit console with 6-pack including Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Revenge of Shinobi.
35.
35 with Super Street Fighter 2 and 2 controllers so you can beat your friends until they quit the game forever. You can just play M. Bison and just tackle across the screen. Funny story, M. Bison was actually supposed to be called Balrog, and Balrog was supposed to be called M. Bison. But because M. Bison was too close to M. Tyson, they decided to swap their names around, if I remember correctly.
It was supposed to be Vega for M. Bison.
Vega for M. Bison, right.
And then Balrog was supposed to be M. Bison.
Right.
And then Vega was supposed to be Balrog.
Or, yeah.
And then
36.
36 for the Genesis 16-bit console and assorted games and accoutrements. Do we have a 40 to take it home? I mean, Street Fighter alone, that alone is a $10 game. And the systems normally retail for about $35 to $40. So $40 for everything all together is a really great steal. But we're at 38?
36.
36. Do we have a 38? Or perhaps a 40? Or maybe 100. Could you hear me? 100. 100 is the number that I said. I don't know if you heard me. It was 100. It's 36 is the high bid though right now. Do we have a 37? 36 going once. 36 going twice. Last chance. Shoryuken! Congratulations to the buyer. Thank you for your purchase. 36 wins the ducats. Congratulations to the buyer. Thank you for your purchase. Contact us for payment. Next, we have a very special item. Yep, too slow. Whoever just bid, too slow. Stop bidding after we close.
Yep, we're refreshing. Not our fault.
We're doing our best. Again, if you don't hear your bid called, message us or call us. I'm trying to give as much time as I can between rounds, but we do have a lot of things to get through still. And I'm trying not to keep y'all here all day. And much, contrary to what many people believe, I cannot talk for 24 hours straight. I can't do it. We have a Sega Dreamcast with one controller, accompanying device cords, and of course, gloves make my hands so dumb. The Sega Dreamcast itself. This thing is a beauty. Anybody with any knowledge of piracy could play literally any game they wanted on this thing.
Opening at 40 then?
Opening at $40 is a Sega Dreamcast with all accompanying controller and cords necessary to play on a modern-ish TV. With the older systems, make sure that your newer TVs do not have a minimum resolution threshold, because that can prevent your game from displaying on your TV. This is a really clean edition. It's got some felt pads added to the bottom to kind of soften the touch, so that way it's not so hard on the, it just gives it some distance from the ground. It lets it, get some airflow going so it doesn't overheat. Keeps it going a lot longer. Really great system. Had some amazing games on it. It really didn't get to see the light of day the way that it should have. It was murdered by the PS2 and piracy. And also, it was just an incredibly expensive machine to make. I believe what was the one piece of it that cost more than the system itself afterwards? I forget what it was. There was some part of it that was like exorbitantly expensive, and then Sega nearly collapsed on themselves because of it. But Sega Dreamcast opening bid, $40. We do have a couple of games available, so if you do end up winning this auction, we can discuss other games that we might have, so we can send those off to you as well. Great condition. This is a Dreamcast model HKT 3020, completely ready to ship in a large flat rate box, or we can, give it to you outside if you stop by. Do we have a $40 bid on arguably the greatest system current eras? So before the Xbox 360 and PS3 came out and then forward, this was probably the greatest system known to man before then, in my opinion. People have their favorites, people enjoy things, but as far as sheer graphics output for the time that Soul Edge was released on this, which some of you may not know that Soul Edge was the precursor to Soul Calibur, which is a very popular fighting game now.
Soul Edge was on PlayStation. Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. Sorry,
Yeah,
Soul Calibur. I was thinking the stand-up arcade of Soul Edge. My bad. So Soul Calibur did come out on this, and it did have just outstanding graphics. There was a really great RPG called Time Stalkers that I loved very much that came out for this. Ready to Rumble Boxing it ran beautifully on this, and it was, arguably one of the best boxing games out there because all of the other ones are bad. So, I believe Knights came out on the Saturn first, right? Not the Dreamcast?
I think so.
I digress. $40 for, like I said, one of the greatest systems known to man. Do we have any bids on the Sega Dreamcast? Fine, I'll take it home and play with it myself. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Kidding. It's going back on the shelf. Going once, going twice, going back on the shelf. Alright. We do not have a tremendous amount left. It's all just big items now.
Yeah. Do we want to do...
We're going to do the Matchbox display.
Yeah, I was going to say that, or the box of comics or something we could do.
Can somebody grab the box of comics to have that ready for next?
I don't know where the box of comics is.
It's...
Any of those ones?
Yeah. I got it. I think I've been doing it for like 3 hours. I got it. So, we have here a vintage 1970.
No, that's probably 80s.
Pretty sure it has a... We could probably find out. What year is this display? But it's a retro
Does
Matchbox
it say
display.
on the other side there, there's a copyright line under it?
No, it doesn't say the year. It just says... Josh is on it. So, it's a Matchbox display with top. The way it works is you take the top off. There are a couple of cracks on it. This is very thin plastic, and it is at least 30 years old. Closer to 40, because it's 2020 now. And all of these panels here slide up and allow you to remove or replace the cars. All cars are going to come with it, so any cars that are in here are fair game. Do we know what year this is?
I'm looking it up right now.
So, the Matchbox display was originally stickered at $275 because it is pretty rare, pretty retro. We've had a couple offers on it close to there, but nobody ever ended up coming back for it. So we'll start the bidding off. This is going to be curbside only. This is not something that we can safely ship. As much as I would love to ship this to somebody and give it a carrying home, no matter how tightly we pack it, there's really no way that we could guarantee the structural integrity of it. And so it would just be best if it was pickup only. We will start the bidding off at $100 for the Matchbox display with the cars. Retro, spinning, awesomeness. If you got a kid that likes cars, if you like cars, if you're a vintage toy collector, if you're a vintage Matchbox collector, this is the thing for you. Do we have $100 in the chat? How about 105? Do we have a biter on the Matchbox spinning display from sometime before 1980? Silence in the chat. Nobody even says hi to me anymore. I should have sold a lock of my hair. $100 on the Matchbox collectible spinning shelf, or it'll go back on the shelf whence it came. Going once. Going twice. Going back on the shelf. Yep. And then here we have the next item, which is a box.
Does that have a Matchbox sticker on the middle of the plastic on each side?
Yeah.
Like on the right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 90s.
Oh, it is 90s?
Yep.
Oh, so it's 30 years old.
It's going for $1,000 on eBay.
A grand on eBay. Wow. Guess we'll just sell it there. So we have here a short box of comics. We did not hand count all of these. We just know that it is north of 100. So north of 100 random books. Some more recent than others. I even see a little Naruto book in there. That's pretty cool. I'm a big Naruto fan. My kid's a big Naruto fan. There's some Spider-Man in here.
What are we starting?
Some cable stuff. We're gonna start at $25 for over 100 books. Randomized. These are readers. There might be a key or two in there. We may have missed it while sorting through it. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are going to criticize it in the chat. So over 100 books, $25. This is curbside only. The shipping on this would be exorbitant. So $25 takes home over 100 books for your kid to read, for you to read, for you to collect, fill some numbers in your missing numbers and some runs. There's a mixture of. That's a pretty good mix. It's not necessarily alphabetized or anything like that. There's a bunch of stuff tossed in here. There's some cool books in there. All right, $25 before I change my mind and start actually looking through this box and find something worth something. $25 takes it home. 25. Do I have 30? 25. Do I have 26? 27. 30. Or 100. Any of those are acceptable bids because they're higher than the current bid. The current bid is 25. Do we have a 26? I won't sing again if somebody bids $26 right now.
Am I allowed to bid on my own auction?
Yeah, you're allowed to bid on your own auction. Go ahead, $26. No. Pay the man! $26 for 100 mystery comics.
That's under a quarter a piece.
That is under a quarter a piece. And if some of them are modern comics, which I believe there's a couple tossed in there, then that's even a better deal because those are like $4 now. $25 is the high bid. I'll go in once. Going twice.
20. Oh, wait. Why are you bidding against yourself? You can't do that.
Sing anymore.
$25 bid, huh?
No, if
Mike
they
didn't want you to sing, I guess.
All right, $26 it is. $26 is the high bid. Congratulations. Do we have 27? Do we have 27? I'll sing again if you get 27. 27 for 100, north of 100 comics. There's some cool stuff. There's like Cable in there. I see Crossbones through a little handle here, so he's on the cover of one of these books. We haven't really looked through it. I kind of just like thumbed through it really quickly, and I saw some cool stuff, but I have no idea. This was just a box of comics that we found. It's
Yeah, Mike was like, so he stopped singing.
yeah, all right, $26, 27. We'll take it home. Do we have a 27? Chat says no. Going once. Going twice. So, congratulations, buyer. Thank you for your purchase. You don't put that like anywhere over there. Let's do some Batman statues. These weren't on the list, but
Let's do the Hulk statue first. Can we get that out of the way?
which Hulk statue?
The Marvel Studios Hulk.
Oh, that one.
It's underneath that. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just gonna go top down. Let's just like finish the form, and then we'll do one by form.
I didn't even see that one. Oh, yeah, Marvel Studios Hulk. This is the Marvel Studios 10-year edition Hulk and Hulk Buster. Crazy cool figure.
Marvel Legends, right?
It is Marvel Legends. It is the Legends series. It is also Marvel Studios marked. It is from 2015, Series 7, having both the Hulk and the Hulk Buster in the same packaging. This is from the Age of Ultron. Killer movie. I know it got poor reviews, but like, I don't know, something about the marionette robots really was awesome for me. And seeing the Hulk Buster, that was a really cool moment. Normally stickered at $85. The opening bid for the Hulk and Hulk Buster is $45. Do we have a $45 in the chat for Hulk and Hulk Buster? These are pretty big figurines. You know, those of you who know me, this is my hand next to the Hulk. You know, it's probably about a 10-inch figure. I'd say the Hulk Buster is probably an 11 or a 12-inch figure. I don't think it has any measurements in here on the. Yeah, it just says two figures. It doesn't have measurements for them. It is the Hulk and the Hulk Buster from Age of Ultron. Great movie, great figures. Normally $85. Current opening bid of $45. Do we have $45? $45. It's going back on the shelf. This is a killer deal. The Legend series are really great figures. I feel that they're very high, high quality. I think that they get a really great attention to detail. I mean, the Hulk is even articulated from his chest, so he can like really like hunch over and roar if you bend him that way. Or you could just leave him in the box. He just looks angry trying to knock on the window. Just hello. $45 for the Legend series Hulk and Hulk Buster. For the toy fanatics out there, so on and so forth. Nada? Alright. Going once. Going twice. Going back on the shelf. We did the Warhammer books, we did Star Wars Secret... We did all of this. It's all done. Cool. So... we have these Batman figures. These are from Diamond Select as well. These are really cool figures of the Joker and the Penguin. This is from the 60s Batman TV series. And these are actually hand-signed by Jean St. Jean, the sculptor of these two statues. Really cool dude. He's been here a couple times for Free Comic Book Days. He's a good friend of ours. He's a really awesome guy, an incredible artist. His sculptures are insane. He has his own studio doing creature replicas now. Really, really cool figures of Western folklore. These are Diamond Select, though. 60s Batman series, Joker and Penguin. We will start... we're not going to do them together, but we'll do the Joker first. Penguin first. My hands are all mixed up. So we will start the bidding on the Penguin at $35. $35 takes home the Penguin signed by the sculptor from the Batman 60s show. Are you a Batman fan? Are you a fan of the Penguin? Are you a fan of the 60s show? Are you a fan of artists? It's a really cool statue. And if Gene ever comes visit again, you can come get it signed a second time. We have pictures of him signing these, so if you need, authenticity, we can do that for you as well. Do we have a 35 on the Penguin? 35 on the Penguin. It's a cool figure. It's mortar. I could probably, I'm not gonna, but I could pull it out. Yeah, originally designed by Barry Bradfield, sculpted by Gene St. Jean, limited to 3,000 pieces. That was probably something I probably, should have mentioned. There were only 3,000 of these made, and even fewer of them signed. I think maybe we had them signed 3 each of the ones that we had. So this is one of the only ones that are left. It is currently signed. I think it retails at about 50.
Yeah, something like that.
Each of these figures without a signature. So it's currently $35, takes it home. Do we have 35 in the chat? Going once. Going twice. Going back on the shelf with the Bat Shark Repellent. The Joker is this is the Joker bust from, again, the 60s TV show, signed by Gene St. Jean, limited to 3,000 pieces from Diamond Select. We will open this also at $35 for the Joker. Do we have $35 in the chat for the Joker?
After this one, I'm going to hit the bathroom real quick.
Well, yeah, after this, we got to probably take an intermission and put some more stuff on the table. So this is going to be the last item for a few minutes because we're going to have to, reconnoiter and put some more stuff up on the table. So we'll be taking a quick break after this one. But $35 on the Joker. Do we have $35 to take a signed Joker bust home? 35. Going once. Going twice. Going back on the shelf. All right, so we're gonna take a couple minutes, put some more stuff here on the table, make sure that we get a couple more things out here. I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time. I appreciate the time that you spent with us today. If you have any questions for us in the meantime, please drop them in the chat. I will answer them to the best of my ability when we return. If you have anything that you would like to see us auction, please put it in the chat while we are taking this brief intermission, because we'll just grab it and put it up here. We're not for sale. So I'll stop that right there. But other than that, definitely, keep it going in the chat. Stay together. Stay community. We love you. We'll be back shortly.